Hello there. This is another rambling review by me. um, today's review is Archon Angel. That's Archon Angel, Angel. This band, for those uninitiated, features Zach Stevens, formerly of Savatage and Circle to Circle. Um, he, I've been waiting for a new Circle to Circle album for I don't know 5 years now. Yeah, it's been a while since they put out one. But this is a good this if the band were to make the next evolutionary step, this would be the album they would do. I'm sure of it. It's got a little bit of everything on it. Um, the very first song, the title track, "Fallen." I'm hard pressed to believe that it's a new song. To me it sounds like an old Savatage relic, something that maybe was given to Zach by John Oliva of Savatage or something years ago, and I don't know. It just sounds like that to me. It does not sound like it does not sound like a new, fresh band kind of thing. It sounds like a Savatage retread. Um, it, it might not even be a retread. It might just be an old Savatage song, which wouldn't be the first time that Zach has pulled that stunt. He did it with Circle to Circle on at least 3 tracks that I know of that were written uh, by Chris Oliva, which for whatever reason, Chris was never given the proper credit as a songwriter, and the songwriting credit was given to his then current Circle Circle band members. But it came out later that they were actually old Chris Oliva songs, and it's possible that Chris Oliva even played on them songs, but he was not given any kind of credit for doing so. Um, and then there was another one that came out a little bit later that was also written as a Savatage song, um, but was once again for whatever reason was not given credit to John Oliva, who did co-write it with him. Um, so I believe that Fallen is in that category. However, curiously, Zach does not even take credit for co-writing it in the credits on this. Most of the I'll get preface this. Most of the lyrics are given credit to Kate Stevens, Zach's current wife. Even though it doesn't say lyrics, I don't see her being a very big musical writer. I see her given more of that lyrical credit, which is fine because what she writes on this album, if she truly did, is very much in the lane of what Zach did for Circle to Circle, and even to some degree, even what Paul O'Neill did with Savatage. So, and we all know, yeah, it's just got some of those elements to it. The title track "Fallen" sounds like it ripped off. It sounds like it's ripped right out of Savatage songbook, and so much like a Savatage song that I can't see it not being an old song that was resurrected for this project. Then we get into Serpent, which is a great song. It's a great, it's a new song. I can tell that's new. The next, most of these are definitely all new sounding songs. They sound Serpent and The Rise, which is the third track, sound like Circle to Circle, the next evolution of Circle to Circle. To me, they do. It's like I don't know. It's just really really good. I like this album. I think it really speaks well for Zach, what he was able to accomplish with this album. There's a couple songs on here that are sound like Queensryche songs, and one I wish I could remember which exact one it has, but one of them sounds like it was strict, like it was ripped right from the Queensryche Mind Crime era. it's just that. I mean, you can tell by the riffage and the melody and whatever. And, at least musically, it sounds like it's from that. And it would not surprise me one bit if that's a leftover song from this project, Sweet Oblivion with Jeff Tate, which was done with Simon Mulroney, who wrote that song that is on this album. So I wouldn't doubt for 1 minute that it actually was a leftover Sweet Oblivion song. Maybe Jeff thought it was too Queensrÿche sounding, so he decided he didn't want to do it. Zach did it. Zach did a great job with it. Of course, I believe they put new lyrics to it. I don't think it's the same lyrics that would have been on there. But musically, it sounds like it's straight from Mindcrime. We got I really, really wish I could remember what song that one was, what it is on here. I should have looked before I started this review. But you'll when you hear it, you'll be like, oh, that's Queensrÿche. I mean, you cannot deny that it sounds like a Queensrÿche song. It's just that close. Anyway, the other songs are Under the Spell, Twilight, Faces of Innocence. Those are all very good, solid Zach Stevens kind of songs. And Faces of Innocence might even be that song I'm thinking of. So the Queensrÿche song could be. But the song that really kind of blows my mind on this one is called Hit the Wall. It's just very heavy, very in your face. It's a song that just pummels you. I don't know how to explain it. I've never heard Zach do anything quite like this. Not for a long time anyway. I think he did a song back on the Delusions of Grandeur album, the very first track. I can't remember the name of the title of that song, but it's kind of like that, only better. It makes more sense here. I don't know why, but it literally hit the wall with me. Really cool song. Who's in the Mirror? That was another song that's another song co-written by Simon Mulroney of Sweet Oblivion. He wrote the music, and once again, Kate Stevens gets the lyrical credit. I'm still confused as to why she has so much lyrical credit on this album. If she truly wrote it, great job. I'm going to say that, but something tells me that there was probably more Zach in there, that he just thought he'd give his wife some credit. I dare I say. Nah, I'm not going to say it. I'm thinking it, and if you know what I'm thinking of, it's just let it be, okay? Yeah, and then the surprise track, another song it's a shocker of a track for me, is Brought to the Edge, but it's a different kind of shock. This one sounds very orchestrational, with some acoustic overtones, not much unlike Kiss's Beth. But it's not quite as catchy as that. I hate to say it's a good song. It's a very emotional song, and it probably means a lot more to people who listen to it than Beth would. I mean, it does mean lyrically, it means more to me, but I think that it should have had more of a power ballady feel to it as opposed to what they did. I mean, they just went lush strings with some acoustic guitar, and it just didn't work for me musically on that one. I don't know why, but it's a good song. It just seems a little bit out of place on this album. I don't know why. But then they rounded off with the last track, Return of the Storm, which to me is the quintessential circle to circle kind of song. It's got the counterpoints, it's got everything that Circle to Circle did with their final tracks on albums. Live as One, and yeah, that kind of thing. I don't know. I can't remember them all. I can't remember all those songs. Sorry. But every album seemed to end with a song that was very similar to, to this big epic. Feel the Sorrow was another one on the very first Circle to Circle album, that reminiscence of this. It starts off piano ballady and builds into a counterpoint, and then it just kind of, boom, gets you right at the end, and not very much unlike Not What You See. Well, maybe not quite as much counterpoint as that had in it, but yeah, if you get what I'm getting at. It's a great song. I love it. It would fit right in with any Circle to Circle album that was out there. Put it that way. It's that perfect. Um, Overall, it's 10 great tracks. Well, okay, 9.5 great tracks because brought to the edge. Lyrically, it's amazing. I love the lyrics to that song, but musically, I think it failed me for some reason. I don't know why, but it just did. You may love it, and if you do, great. More power to you, because that's the one thing about music lovers. We all like and we all don't like different things. This just happened. I love ballads. I love power ballads. This one just didn't connect with me for some reason musically. Now lyrically, it was awesome. It brought me to the edge, man. um, I mean, so it's very listenable because it is Zach too singing. Anytime Zach sings, I'm a big Zach Stevens fan. I am a huge Zach Stevens fan, which is why I own this. I own pretty much everything that guy sings. I don't care if the music was great or not. If he sings it, it's always good because I could listen to that guy a cappella. It don't matter. He don't need music for me to listen to him. If he put out a solo album of just him singing, I'd listen. I'd buy it. He's just got that kind of vibe vocally, to me. Now, I'm going to get to the packaging a little bit here. Just a little bit. I really like what they did with the cover art because this cover art is amazing. I mean, just look at that picture for one thing. But it continues inside. It's not, it's behind every lyric page here. And you got pictures of the band members, which, that's the guitar player, Aldo Lanabile. I think I don't know if I pronounced that. Aldo is right, but I don't know about his last name. I don't know this guy. I'm pretty sure I heard, when I was reading earlier reviews of this, they made a mention of some band that he was in, and I think I remember the band he was in, but I don't remember him by name in that band for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, it's just more pictures and lyrics. This guy here is the bass player. His name is Yves Campion. Now I've heard of him, but I can't remember what band he was from. But I remember hearing his name somewhere along the line. Then you got Marco Lazzaneri, which I'm not sure who that guy is either. He's the drummer on this, but I don't know who he is, where he came from, musically speaking. There's some more. Look at that. I kind of like that backdrop of the clouds and a little bit of lightning in there. It's kind of cool. But this is my biggest complaint is how small is that print? I'm going to have to put this right up at the camera so you can kind of pull it back. And that's about what you see when you look, right there is, if you're looking at it from a normal distance, that's what you'd be able to see. You'd have to pull it right up close to you to really read any kind of detail. Plus it's so light. When you put it on a backdrop like this, you probably should, at least on the lighter side up here. See, this side is a little goldish, I guess, and this side is white. But I think it should have been more darker, at least up here. Down here it's fine because it's all white against a darker background. But that part there is about the only complaint I have with this packaging. But it's it is what it is. The CD is a nice picture disc CD. Look at that. It's got the album, album art on it. There isn't much behind. There's just this Archon Angel, but yeah, that CD is pretty cool looking too. Then you got the big typeset on the back. That you can read that from a mile away. I like that when you can read it. When you can, you can hold it away and you can still read it. Maybe it's just me getting old and not being able to see as well as I used to, but still, I like it. I like what they do. My biggest complaint with this entire release has absolutely nothing to do with the CD. Nothing. It has to do with the lack of a vinyl release. It baffles me. It's Zach Stevens of Savatage, one of the biggest metal bands on the planet, and they didn't have enough faith in this material to release it on vinyl. Yikes. Um, I don't know. I mean, maybe they're trying to market it as a fresh new band, which would be all right, but you should still market it as Zach Stevens' new band, because that's what it is. It's Zach Stevens. That's why people buy this. I hate to say it, but when Frontiers does these things, they like to put all these unknown, at least unknown to most music fans, musicians, behind a very famous vocalist, right? You know, this is a good example. Sweet Oblivion. This one says featuring Jeff Tate right there. So you can't not know that Jeff Tate from Queensryche is on that. But where's Zach Stevens isn't even on this cover anywhere. I mean, they should. I don't. They don't need to do it, but if they wanted to market it, at least with a hype sticker or something saying featuring Zach Stevens of Savatage, that would make this fly off the shelves a lot quicker, I'm sure. Because people walk through their CD shops, which doesn't have CDs are not dead, but they're definitely diminishing. They're not dead, but you walk through and you just see this, you probably just pass it on by. You look at it, oh, that's got a cool cover, but you don't really know anything about this band. Why would you buy it? Now, the only time you would buy something with that cover art, is if it was a vinyl, because you saw that vinyl, blowing up in a vinyl size, and you saw that look, and you were like, oh, dude, you don't care what the music is. That cover's kick ass, and that's a vinyl cover. That's something you want in your collection. And then when you open it up, you realize it's Zach Stevens. You'd be like, oh, that's even a bonus. You won't really get that with CDs. They have to market Zach as being the member of this band, as the primary selling point for the CD in order to get it across to the fans of Savatage. Because Savatage has always been sort of an undergroundish band, undergroundish I say, because they did kind of blow up, with Zach in the band. They got a lot bigger with him in the band, but still not over the top big. They didn't do that until they turned into Trans-Siberian Orchestra. But by the time they turned into Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Zach was gone. He didn't even really do anything with Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I think he did one song on Beethoven's Last Night with them. And he didn't even do lead. He was just one of the monks chanting or something. I don't know what it was, but it was a song, I believe, called The Dark that he was on. But that's really it. The guy never sang one song fully by himself with Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And maybe that was by design for the band, but really the rest of the band was in the band. I mean, you still had your Chris Caffrey, your Al Petrilli, you had Johnny Lee Middleton and Jeff Plate. That's the last the 90s incarnation of Savatage. That's 4 of the members that are still in the current touring version of Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They all play on the same all play on the albums. I don't see any more Trans-Siberian Orchestra albums being made because of Paul O'Neill's passing, but there might still be, from what I understand, there might still be something in the works that Paul had started that may be finished, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, when you get Trans-Siberian Orchestra, you got 4 of the 5 members, or 4 of the 6 members, sorry, because John Oliva, even though he writes with Trans-Siberian, he doesn't tour with them. So, but you got 4 of the 90s members of that band, and I say 90s members because Zach left at the end of the 90s, along with Al Petrilli. Al Petrilli went on to Megadeth, and then they were both replaced by Damon Jania and on vocals, and I think Jack Frost was on guitar, but then he left and was replaced by Jeff Waters of Annihilator for their final run in like 2001, 2002, something like that. And that was the last time Savatage really toured with anybody. And then they did a reunion show with Trans-Siberian Orchestra on one stage, Savatage on the other stage in 2015 at Wacken, which featured Zach. Zach and Al were back in their positions for that. So really, they would be the last known members of Savatage to perform live. But yeah, but anyway, Zach Stevens is a very good selling point, but yet for some reason, other than the video that they released, which you can find here on YouTube elsewhere, um, other than that, there's really nothing saying that Zach is on this album, which is a shame because he should be the big selling point of this one. Anyway, enough of my rambling and ranting reviews here on Archon. I hope you find it informative enough to go out and go to. I would say for U.S. citizens, the best way to get it is to go to Amazon and purchase it. And they do sell the official copy there. There was a hologram sticker right on the edge here. You can see kind of see the little marks from it. I had to pull it off to open the CD, but when they have that, and they have their hologram sticker on there, the Frontiers will have it on there. You know it's an official Frontiers release. They're not going to fake you out. They're not going to, if it came without that, I would send it back. Or if it comes looking anything like other than what it looks like here, typesets and everything. If it looks anything different than that, I would send it back. Just because they do this thing called CD on demand or something like that, which they have some pretty impressive replicas, that they make for some releases. But this one that was an official release. It came with the actual Frontier sticker. It was wrapped around the edge here. Sometimes they're on the back of the case, like this. This is a Frontier sticker. They're a little silver hologram sticker that you can't miss. And if you get that at all, it's a legit copy. So, and if you don't get that, send it back and go to eBay or something. I don't know. Just but I would definitely recommend buying this one if you're a Savatage fan, Circle fan, Zach Stevens fan. I don't care. Even if you like Sweet Oblivion, buy this one because there's a couple songs that I can definitely tell you sound like they came from this, left over from this project. So, but they're very good. So I'm going to end that here. Stay tuned for the next one coming. It's a review of a vinyl I recently acquired. So yeah, this is Archon Angel, Archon Angel, and it's on Frontier Records 2020. Zach Stevens of Savatage and Circle to Circle is the vocalist on this project. I can't state that enough. If that's not enough for you to buy this, well, go buy your hardcore punk. Good night.